Hey everyone, I'm just trying to bring up my live stream. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So, the cards that I have here, we have Tomb of the Heretics, we have Grove of Laminations, both from the Dante Inferno deck. We also have Warrior and Harvest. If I can get it and go in there. This feels like, I'm not gonna lie, like this feels like kind of like a cult, you know, and the word cult can be used in a lot of different ways. This is just like, honestly, with the Harvest card and the Dante Inferno's cards, like this could be like a family group. It could be a religious group. This isn't like some like random spooky cult, you know, like out in the woods or anything like that. Like this is like a cult of a bloodline or a cult of a doctrine. You know, this is a family system or a church or a place of worship. And these people are like, this is just how we do things type of energy. And so for a lot of you, this cult is your family, or it's something to do with a religious group of people. And some of you are being branded as a heretic. You're being branded, you're being labeled as a heretic for not thinking like them, for not worshiping like them, for not praying like them, for not, they feel like you're not playing your assigned role within this group or dynamic. Um, and so they're kind of like pretty much burying you alive in their expectations and their rules, maybe even their shame for some of you. And it's like once you start seeing through whatever this is with the Grove of Laminations, once you see through it, you're going to hit that grief phase. You know, if it's family, you're going to grieve that childhood you didn't get. The love that you did receive that was conditional and not unconditional. Um, some of you, you know, your family, or it could even be a religious group where they taught you to fear instead of feel things. They wanted you to just fear things, okay? That could be for somebody else. Some of you could have been crying or like replaying things like, why did this group of people do this to me? Why do they act this way towards me? Um, and then we have Warrior. You're breaking out of this cult-like energy. With the Warrior card, this is you guys being like, I don't care if you call me rebellious, ungrateful, mean, a heretic, a witch, uh, whatever. I'm not sacrificing myself to your system anymore or to your group anymore, whatever this is. This is you breaking either a generational curse, and maybe not just spiritually, but also psychologically. You are growing or harvesting something after getting honest with yourself or honest with other people. A lot of you guys are about to see the consequences um, of your choices, like the blessings and good consequences that come from your choices that you make. Whether you made the choice to have a certain spiritual path or a new spiritual path, whether you made the choice of choosing who your family is, um, something that actually feels safe for you, and you're getting blessings from these choices. This could even be a group of people where they're like, we don't talk about that. You know, like that could be about certain subjects, certain things, maybe about the past, anything. If you have questions regarding religion, I mean, this could be about anything. And I'm hearing we don't talk about that. And it could be about talking about anything. So the collective has been spiritually, mentally, or even emotionally imprisoned in some sort of belief system or family or community, or maybe narratives that have labeled you as wrong or crazy or sinful or too much for just being who you truly are. And so you guys are seen as the heretics. You're seen as the black sheep. Some of you felt like you were being buried up under other people's doctrines at some point. A lot of you are stepping out of these structures, or you're in the process of leaving these structures or dynamics. And this could even be causing a period of grieving, whether that be in the past or present. Some of you are grieving like lost time or lost innocence or lost relationships. Some of you are grieving the fact that you have realized how much damage these dynamics and systems have done. And so this could be like a crying phase, whether you've already gotten over the crying phase or whether you're still in the crying phase. You know, like being like, I can't believe that they did that to me. I can't believe I let myself be around them that long or stay that long. But this is enough here. With the warrior, this is enough. This is an activation point. You're going to be picking up your tools, like your voice, your boundaries, your maybe therapy, maybe community, maybe your own magic. You're taking these tools and using them with this situation. A lot of you guys are rewriting some sort of horror story. Okay, Evil Dead could be a confirmation for somebody. You know, some of you have been through a horror story, but you're going to start rewriting it. You're going to fight back against fear or people or structures that rely on certain things. You're going to move into a harvest type of energy. Children of the Corn could be significant for someone here. There could be some kind of karmic balancing in this situation where the people that have hurt you are going to be facing their own consequences, while some sort of heretics turned warriors here begin to kind of reap the blessings from their courage. You know, you guys are going to be blessed with better connections, better relationships, safer spaces, more creativity, more money, more freedom, more spiritual freedom. Some of you are going to be, you're going to be very conscious about, even because some of you are breaking free from these dynamics, and it's because you're becoming very conscious here. I'm also hearing tending to your own garden as well instead of theirs. It almost feels like spiritual or emotional captivity or psychological captivity. And it's like you're activating this inner warrior. You got to process it first and then move forward. But you're going to be rewarded for some sort of new choice that you're making, or new choices that you're making. Somebody's reaping what's been sown in a very sinister, high stake kind of way. There's some sort of karmic energy or consequences that are about. And these consequences are like results of certain belief systems, certain choices, long-term patterns, whether it be good or bad. And it's like everyone's being dished out like good consequences, bad consequences. This is an energy of cult-like thinking or a fear-based belief system passed down. Okay. Some of you are going to be focusing on harvesting abundance. You're not trying to, because there's something about this dynamic or this group that has this cult-like energy. They bring a lot of pain, a lot of emotional pain, psychological pain, and you guys are going to be less focused on that pain and more focused on harvesting some sort of abundance here. Some of you are realizing that these people, that their outdated or old belief systems have created certain issues, like even in their own life. Or you see it trickling down on other people and causing issues for other people that they affect. You guys are wanting love, you're wanting safety, happiness, joy. You know, you want to be able to stand in your power. For some of you, there's going to be a decision made in court. It could go good or bad. It depends on what side everybody's on in certain situations, but I'm seeing court decisions being made. I'm seeing things finally be put to an end. I'm seeing payouts. I'm seeing fallouts, but I'm also seeing job offers and blessings and abundance too. And it just really depends on what side of the coin you're on with this situation. And it's all all of these blessings and consequences, whether it's good or bad consequences, it's all tied to prior actions regarding these people. And it's all tied to what you're aligning yourself with as well. Because if you stay in this family or religion or community, whatever this is, that runs on some sort of fear and control, or making people, you know, label people as heretics or black sheep or whatever, in like a bad way, a demeaning way. Because something about these people could be like gatekeepers or just very controlling. Some of you are learning to plant seeds in different belief systems, because some of you have quite literally seen the cost of staying loyal to the wrong people or staying loyal to the wrong ideology, because it causes a lot of emotional and energetic and psychological cost here. So some of you are creating like these new boundaries, these new standards for your spirituality, for your work, for your love, for your family life, just everything. Because you see something now. You see something and you can't unsee it. And you're like, you're wanting or needing to grow from whatever you've seen or experienced. But yeah, with the warrior energy, for any of you that are not familiar with Evil Dead, Ash Ash and his boomstick. All right, he is not going to be somebody who backs down. He is somebody who will willingly face those demons, those zombies, those possessed people, he faces them all like a warrior. He's like, "All right, let's go, let's fight." You know, he's stubborn as fuck. He refuses to roll over and just die. And so there's like a part of you that finally kind of fights back against the demons, quote unquote. And this could be like literal people, but for some of you, it could also have something to do with your, maybe for some of you, the demons is your inner fears or trauma narratives or something. Okay. So it'll be different for different people, but some of you are even learning like a form of healthy aggression where you just have the ability to say no, to set boundaries, or just defend yourself, but not over defend yourself. Some of you have dark humor, okay? Because Ash has a lot of dark humor. So some of you could have dark humor that maybe you use humor or dark humor to transmute energies or pain. Maybe some of you are the type of person where you laugh in the face of chaos, and you know, because you're going to still keep swinging regardless. And so, you know, you could laugh in the face of chaos because you know you can get chaotic too or something. And you're like, all right, let's go. So I don't, different things for different people, but you're a survivor. You're giving a survivor energy. Yeah, I do think you guys have been through something that has definitely traumatized you, or you've been through something that's very messy or unhinged, but you have survived whatever it is because you refuse to be taken out. So a lot of you guys are going to be finally like standing up to either generational oppression or emotional oppression. Maybe it's spiritual oppression, and you're taking action. I mean, maybe some of you are getting therapy. Maybe some of you are moving out, divorcing, quitting something, blocking someone, confronting someone. Maybe some of you guys are getting a lawyer. Um, maybe some of you guys are doing spell work, whatever, you know, you're doing different things to take action with this. Some of you are walking away. Some of you have had to fight like a lot of your life, and I don't know, you know how to fight through something, or you're choosing to fight through something to get out of something. Like it goes from you just feeling hurt or traumatized to just being like, I'm actually doing something about this, you know? Some of you are reclaiming your power or something like that after feeling powerless. Some of you are breaking out of a fawn response. If you're somebody that usually has a fawn response to things, you're breaking out of that psychologically, and you're no longer people pleasing to feel safe or to stay safe or to be on safe terms with people. A lot of you guys are building up trust with yourself. You know, you're more focused now on trusting yourself or protecting yourself or just being on your own fucking side. And this could be a moment where the collective really stops seeing themselves as a victim and they start seeing themselves as the main character who literally fought their way out of hell, like Ash from Evil Dead. But yeah, there's been some sort of spiritual, mental, or emotional or psychological imprisonment that has been caused by belief systems or dogma or thinking differently. I mean, it could be literal religion, it could be family expectations, family rules, it could be about societal norms. You know, you can't do that, you know, if you're going to be one of us. You can't say that, or you can't be, you know, it's that kind of energy. And so this is you guys, this is a message for people that have been cast out or labeled certain things, or people that, you know, you feel like you're being punished for like not being the same as everyone or something like that. Or if you step out of line, you feel like you're being punished or cast out or something like that. So there's a lot of outdated things here that should have already died out, but it's still around. You know, it's old roles, it's old identities, it's old history. It's just like, It's making me think there's a song by, I think it's Kiki Rockwell. Let me look this up. Same Old Energy. Kiki Rockwell, Same Old Energy. It says mass hysteria and false accusation Our strange domination got no explanation. As fear plagues the nation, your whole congregation that say they should be caged in these women of Satan. Yes, there's masturbation, some ego inflation, but really it shadows just congregating. So act on temptation and live by sensation. This is the reason you came to creation. And the chorus is like, you got to rise up, oh flame, come join the game. They started a frenzy, but we'll take the blame. A bare-chested dame who goes by no name. Their arsenal's empty, all they got is shame. It says, same old energy, baby, history repeats. Same old energy, baby, they'll march you through the streets. Same old energy, baby, they fear what they don't know. Same old energy, baby, you've burned this way before. It says, it's your own damn fault, boy. You handed us the broom 400 years ago saying you know what to do. So it's pretty much that song has a lot to do with like old ways of thinking, old ways of being. It's very much like a witch hunt type of song. People who also come after women as well. And she keeps saying, you know, it's the same old energy. History repeats. They're going to march you through the streets because they fear what they don't know, because you've burned this way before. They'll cuss you in the lights, but cry your name between their sheets. No matter what the good you did, you'll wind up at the stake. Some of you have a witch wound, all right? Some of you could be dealing with a witch wound, and that could be something that needs to be reflected on. Some of you could have had a past life where you were like the black sheep or cast out, or you were, you know, persecuted in some way. Let me double check this before I say something. Okay, I could be talking to someone that has ancestors or a past life during the Holy Roman Empire, which would be modern day Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I could be talking to someone that has ancestors or a past life in France, Scotland, Scandinavia. These were the main places that were actually burning witches, because there's a lot of places that weren't doing that. They were just like hanging them and doing different things. But the places that were actually burning witches were Scotland, France, Scandinavia, and the Holy Roman Empire, which is modern day Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. But Scotland, I know Scotland saw a very large number of witch trials and burnings. I'm Scottish myself. I'm almost half Scottish. So someone here could be Scottish too. I don't know much about the other countries. That's why I had to look it up. I knew Scotland was like that, but I felt like there was other countries, so I wanted to look that up. But I know Scotland actually was like burning. So yeah, some of you could be dealing with a witch wound here. And that's not going to be for everyone. You know, some of you guys, maybe you're used to being casted out or being the black sheep. Maybe you've had this role before in the past, in a past life. Maybe some of your ancestors have had this role before. So it'll definitely be different for different people. But yeah, this whole reading, honestly, the more I think about it, and I keep seeing things online about witch wounds as well, and it's like it's trying to definitely give a message, because this could be a witch wound energy, whether it was a past life or even just, in your past in general. A lot of you guys have learned that being magical or being different or being intuitive or even being knowledgeable in things, it got you punished or rejected or even threatened, whether it's in this life or even in a past life. And you guys are experiencing this witch wound, even if you don't identify with being a witch, like it's just a word, it's just a term. So this is you kind of creating a safe space for yourself. A lot of you guys are going to be creating safe spaces, being around people that make you feel safe as well. Someone said Ireland and England too. Yeah, they did burnings, hangings, strangulation. Um, they did all kinds of things in the past to women for being witches or even being blamed as a witch. Like it's. But yeah, when I look it up, it mainly, because I've looked it up on a couple different websites just now, and it's mainly talking about more so through Europe and Scotland, and less so with England or Salem. Because a lot of times strangulation was used. And a lot of times too, like a lot of people think a lot of witches were like burned alive, but a lot of times they did strangle them or do things to them, and then when they, passed over or were unconscious, then they would put them on fire. We actually went to we were down in St. Augustine about a year or two ago. It's probably been about 2 years now. But we went down to St. Augustine, and they have like a torture museum down there, and you go through it, and there's like all these like mannequins and props that are showing the different ways that people that were like tortured, and it's really really fucked up. And they had a lot of like witch things in there, of like things they were doing to witches or people blamed to be witches or just women in general. Y'all, it is, I know times are fucked up, but I would not want to be back in the medieval days or any of those days, because good, if that torture museum was awful. The Good Lord. Like, because back in those days, they just got bored. They got bored. They got creative on different ways to do things to people, whether it's to get answers out of them or to punish them or whatever. And it's like, I knew about some things because I don't know if you guys ever watched Game of Thrones, but they would totally incorporate the history of like doing certain things to people. They would put that kind of stuff in Game of Thrones. I'll never forget that rat scene. Oh my God. Oh my God, the rat scene. Like, it's crazy. Like, and some of you guys literally could have been persecuted in a past life. Like, some of you really could have been. Right when I said that, I looked closer at this card. It does kind of look like somebody's like wrapped up at a stake, you know? Damn. But you guys are rising again like a phoenix in a new life or a new chapter. Whether I'm picking up a past life energy or if this is something more metaphorical, symbolic, with something you guys went through in your past in this life. But I'm gonna hop off here, guys, and I will see y'all. And the next one, yes, Sansa got her revenge. I like the aesthetic of medieval times too. I love medieval artwork and Renaissance artwork as well, but their methods of doing things in those days were very frightening. But I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? And for any of if you guys like booked a mini reading with me, please know that I already uploaded it and it's on my other channel.